Well, hello. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a special Monday night edition of the A-Team. My name is Amanda. Of course, right next to me is the wonderful Amber. Or did I swap that around?
Yeah, you
On a
swapped.
Monday and a Wednesday, right? I don't like that. I'm keeping you on your toes. How's it going, Amanda?
It's going good. It's going
Yeah.
good. We have a very exciting show. But first off, to get started, we have some familiar faces joining our show tonight.
Yeah.
Two of which I am somewhat, well, I shouldn't say somewhat, I am related to. The first one right here is Mr. Ed Ployer, my father, and the other one is my cousin Eric. Welcome. How are we, gentlemen?
Somewhat. Did you hear that, Ed?
Doing quite well.
Somewhat.
I know I'm not. So welcome in, gentlemen. How y'all doing today?
Good. I'm sure she's going to spend the first 5 minutes telling everybody why I'm gray.
Okay. With that being said, because we have a very, very special guest here, and I do not want to keep this gentleman waiting. We have Reggie Barlow joining us tonight. He is the 23rd head coach of the Big Blue City at Tennessee State University. He is highly respected in the industry for his success, experience, and passion for developing players. Reggie Barlow was a standout player at Alabama State University, where he was also an All-American at a prominent HBCU. He was a 4th-round draft pick for the Jacksonville Jaguars and won a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In coaching, he had an impressive success at Alabama State University and Virginia State University, where then he went on to become, as many of you know, the head coach of the DC Defenders of the XFL, with a 9-1 record that season, along with Coach of the Year of 2023. Today, he goes on as the new head coach of TSU Tigers, where his story continues on. So without further ado, I would love to bring this gentleman on. We have Mr. Reggie Barlow. Hi, Reggie. How are you?
How's it going? How you guys doing?
Good. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Hey, Coach. How's it going?
That's quite a lift.
How's it going, Eric? Yeah. How's it going? You guys doing good?
We're doing
Very good. Very good.
We're doing good. So
Cool.
You get to start off with me tonight, Mr. Barlow. And I'm starting off with you because of these two amazing things right here. And
how about that?
Can you tell us a little bit about these 2 books that you have published and what they mean to you?
Yeah, well, first, Amanda, I really appreciate you giving me an opportunity to come on the show. I will have to cash app you for that great introduction. Send you a few dollars for that. So, but yeah, those books were, I got into this whole, how do you talk to yourself? How do you keep yourself motivated? How do you talk to yourself on a daily basis? And positive affirmations is not talked about a lot. And I think growing up as a kid, if I had someone that had given me positive affirmations, I probably wouldn't have been in the shell that I was in from the standpoint of not knowing who I was. So for me, growing up in Montgomery, Alabama, seeing and knowing that there's a lot of kids that don't get to hear positive affirmations on a daily basis. We take it for granted. So we figured we'd write some books and have the accompanying coloring book with those books so we can give them out or have them available for young boys and young girls.
Yeah, that's great. They are on Amazon, so definitely go check those out for sure. I wanted to ask you also with these books, you know, tell us about your family. You have children, yes?
Yeah. So I have 3 kids. Erica is the oldest. RJ is my son that ran track over at Coastal Carolina. And we have a daughter that's in college at UNC Charlotte, Simone Barlow. And I have a grandkid, Tyler Grace. Can't leave my Gracie out. That's in 11th grade right now. So yeah, we have, and of course, my other my mom and brothers and all, we all scattered out. Got brother in Jacksonville, Florida. Two of my brothers in Montgomery, Alabama. My mom is in Montgomery. My dad is in Montgomery. So not too far from Nashville. Get a chance to see them. Matter of fact, my dad, Clement Spider-Man Barlow, his birthday is today. So happy birthday, Pops. August
I was going to
25th.
mention that.
Wow, that's great. Well, shout out happy birthday to him too. I wanted to ask you, I know faith is very important to you. And I wanted to ask you how important that is. And can you tell me a time in which your faith, you had to lean on your faith throughout your coaching career?
Yeah, I mean, I am who I am because of our faith and what we believe in. And, God has continued to bless us in so many areas and so many circumstances. I think in my coaching career, I went to Alabama State University. I played ball there and ended up getting a job there as an assistant coach. And then they gave me the job as a head coach there. And I was a head coach for 8 years. I think the toughest time I got fired from there after I signed a contract, but then they said they wasn't going to honor the contract. And I think that was like probably the most depressed I've ever been. Just having the rug swept from under my feet from my own school, but that's either here nor there. We made it work. God had a plan for us. We ended up getting another job eventually, and that job propelled us on to go and coach in the pro league, and then of course to be here. But I have to say it was a tough time. It was me sitting in house depressed, trying to figure it out and what I was going to do and all that type of stuff. But like I said, Jeremiah 29:11, God has a plan. He blessed us to go out to Virginia State, which is a great school, great leadership. I learned a lot being there. I was a little bit closer to the kids because they were in North Carolina. So all of it was a blessing. I was able to attend their events and stuff, track and volleyball and all that stuff. So it made it work out.
That's great. TSU is your new stomping grounds. What have you learned about yourself going through this process, and where do you hope it goes to for you in the future?
Yeah, we got the job like not typical time of a head coach getting a job. Ed and Eric, you guys know you get it in December or something like that. Well, in this situation, Eddie George, who was the head coach here, kind of left late, and we got the job here, I think in maybe April or something like that, and had to hit the ground running. It was only me, and then we were able to bring one or two coaches on, but we had to manage. The OTAs and the guys being able to train and all that stuff. So that was a challenge. So we learned that being structured and organized and being able to communicate well will go a long way for you. That's what we were able to do with this team once we got here, until our other coaches were able to make it here as well.
Absolutely. I have one more question and then I'll let Amber take it away. With being a coach, how important is creating that good culture to you? And how do you conquer adversity throughout that time?
Yeah. So I'm like an acronym guy, and being a coach, acronym is called on as Christ helpers. So the two most important days in our life is the day we realize, the day that we're born and the day that we realize why. And I believe God put me on this earth to serve his people in this capacity. So that's what we try to do, be a helper to Christ in everything we do with our players and our coaches. We live this thing called a dash, DASHH. And the A in the dash is for attitude, having a positive attitude, because there will be another A, and that's adversity. So just having a plan when you do face it, because it's going to happen at some point. You just got to have a plan to be able to remove the mental clutter of that adversity and keep working on the task at hand.
And if you need a little, that's right there in his book. Again, everybody, make sure you go get that book. But I wanted to ask you one little thing, Coach. How do you spell love for me?
TIME. I'm sure you guys.
And why is that? And why is that? Will you tell all these amazing people why that is?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the things that we love, we're willing to spend time with. So our team, that's how we spell love, is TIME. I ask them all the time, "You like football?" And they'll say, "No, I love football." And I'm like, "Well, how do you spell love?" And that's what it is. I mean, the things that we love, we're willing to invest our time in, and we're not spending time, we're investing time. So that's how we spell it. It works for us, and it's a key reminder that we can't speak about things we love if we're not heavily invested in it and not spending time with it.
Very cool. Thanks, Coach.
Yeah,
Amber,
no,
your
that's
turn.
definitely an amazing thing. And first of all, I want to say thank you for your time, for your love. I appreciate your family allowing you to take the time to chat with us. My first question for you, Coach, is this transition from UFL into head coach, man, how does it feel? How are you loving it so far?
Yeah, I mean, Tennessee State is a good place. I'm so grateful for Moose Johnson and the UFL staff and all those people that gave me an opportunity to Miss Garcia, that gave me an opportunity to be a head coach on a pro level. That was something that we always wanted to experience. Like, hey, how can we measure up, coaching on the pro level? And we had some good teams, some really good coaches that we had, and we were able to go and win a lot of games. But Tennessee State came a calling, and obviously I've always had a lot of admiration for Tennessee State. My high school coach, Steve Holloway, played football here and went on to play for Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And he used to share all the stories about Tennessee State back in the day. And just from afar, I mean, there's a lot of history and tradition here, and we was able to come and tap in on this, and just really excited to have this platform to be the head coach here at Tennessee State University.
Yeah, I definitely see that. And I gotta say, you're living up to the nickname Doorman, because you've opened up some doors, including Powell. I saw, with that championship win, that's made him the only NFL player, UFL player, and NCAA player to win a championship. I didn't know if you're aware of that stat. You helped him make that happen.
I was not aware of that stat. I think that's pretty awesome,
Yeah.
to be a part of something like that. And we appreciate you doing your homework and being on it and knowing it. So that's actually pretty cool. That's a pretty cool stat.
Yeah, you definitely made him hit the trifecta there with this previous championship in the past season. I thought that was a phenomenal little tidbit of information for you. I also wanted to know, do you plan on transitioning some of these players into the UFL as well as the NFL? Obviously, we want to make sure that they succeed. What are your thoughts or plans for allowing that to be an extra doorway into the next step of their career?
Yeah, that is definitely something. As you know, all of these guys want to go play pro ball, obviously the NFL. And if that doesn't happen, then this would be an avenue to get them there. I mean, our offensive coordinator is the head coach of the DC Defenders. So while these guys are playing for Tennessee State, I'm sure they're going to be hoping that Coach Shannon is taking a look at them as well when the UFL rolls back around.
That's an amazing
And we've
aspect.
we've had some guys. I mean, since I've been a head coach, we've had probably about 25 guys that have either been drafted, signed free agent, or was invited to the NFL camp. So we've been blessed to have some good guys. We've had first round guys. Titus Howard played for us at Alabama State. He's a first round draft pick. And we've had numerous other guys that have signed and went on to the NFL. So we're hoping to keep it going here. Tennessee State has, if you look, they have more NFL draft picks than any FCS school in the country. So that's a lot.
That's amazing, Coach. When it comes to this whole lifestyle, being a coach, being a former player, getting into and helping these young men advance to the next step, what do you think outside of family and love? What do you think professionally is going to benefit them the most in this upcoming adventure?
Yeah, it's education. It's education. I'm grateful. I got drafted in the 4th round. I hadn't graduated college yet, but my mom, Barbara Ann, said she was gonna beat me if I didn't go back to school and finish and get my degree. And I'm so glad that I didn't get beat up because I my to get my degree, and it was the best decision I ever made. Like everything that we've been able to accomplish since since leaving the NFL and being a head coach, like none of that would have been available for me if I hadn't got my my bachelor's degree. So grateful I did that. I got it in teaching. I wanted to be a teacher because of one of my coaches, a few of my coaches that were teachers, that I kind of admired and stuff when I was younger. But thank God for that. And that's what these guys got to get, like getting their education, getting their degree. And then if you go to the NFL, the UFL, Canada, and those places, then that's just icing on the cake. But the main thing that we're focusing on is obviously winning games, but definitely want these guys to know that it's called a student athlete and not athlete student. So definitely getting an education is the primary thing that we want them to have. And college time for me was the best time of my life. I've been blessed to go from Key West to Maine, from Maine to Spain. But I've seen a lot, but the best time of my life was Alabama State from 91 to 95. It was the best time of my life. My closest friends are the people from Alabama State. So that's what I want the experience, or that's what we want the experience to be for our young men here at Tennessee State.
I definitely appreciate your time. I know Ed's chomping at the bit to get in here and chat with you, Coach. I'm going to let him have a few questions.
Well, first off, thanks for joining us, Coach. I wanted to say before we get started that I'm a St. Louis Battlehawks fan, but I always had the utmost respect for you because I just thought you were pure class when it come to running an organization. So I like to say that St. Louis and DC probably had one of the best rivalries in the UFL, and so I hated to see you go. But
yeah, I appreciate that. It was fun playing against the Battlehawks. I remember we played them there. One of those years, maybe the year that we won 9 games and won the North, and it was so loud in there. I think it was 40,000 fans in there. It was so loud, running out of the tunnel and getting booed and probably getting stuff at us. Say, man, these Battlehawk fans are crazy.
Sometimes I wonder though, they always say the dome should be such a home field advantage. Sometimes I think that it's an advantage for the visiting team as well, because you look back on their college days, they loved playing in an atmosphere like that too. So I think they got just as jacked up as the home team did.
Yeah. Being able to play in front of a good crowd is always nice. And all week at practice, we played loud music just to get it, just to mimic the sound of playing over there against Anthony Beck and the Battlehawks. But really enjoyed coaching in the UFL, and that battle there is still, the one that's extremely intense. So kudos to the fans in St. Louis. They definitely show up.
So I want to get into the NIL. It's something that you didn't have to deal with in the UFL, but pre the NIL, when newly hired coaches were brought in to run a college football program, they were given 3 or 4 years to recruit and bring in their players before you could truly measure the success as a head coach. The transfer portal has now given head coaches the ability to change a roster really in year one and bring in the guys that fit the mold. Has the NIL transfer portal changed the expectations put on head coaches to win now?
Yeah, I think it puts even more urgency on to win now because of the availability of the transfer portal, where you can go like free agency and grab guys, and also obviously with the NIL and the money and being able to go and grab a guy that you may like. It's basically, you could be a big SEC school and see a young man that's really good in Conference USA, and could go and say, hey, we want some type of way when he gets in the portal to say, hey, we want to be able to get you. So, and there ain't no salary cap. So it's like if you have the money and you have the opportunity to get an elite player, then guys are going for that and getting that. But it's definitely made it even more competitive. It's definitely made it even harder to keep. If we have this past season for our guys, when I got here, there's probably 20 guys in the transfer portal. And out of that 20, there was a good 8 that were solid football players for Tennessee State last year that left. They were all starters. And there was a few backup guys that left as well. So coaches can grab the right guys that fit their scheme, or grab guys that they can adjust their scheme to and have the opportunity to win immediately.
Well, it looks like the players are taking full advantage of the portal, and they're staying with a college maybe 1 year, and they're jumping into the portal. What kind of stress does that put on a football program to try and build your roster when so much of your roster can be gone in an instant?
Yeah, it is. I tell you, it's a tough deal, especially when you go out and recruit a young man and you develop him for a year or so, and then he hops in the portal because he may have an opportunity to earn life-changing money. And as a head coach, I've gotten myself, or we've gotten ourselves in the mode to just not judge it and know that that's what college football is right now. It's guys can leave and go where they want, but I think we try to stay away from guys that have been to more than 2 schools. We don't feel like we're a fourth choice to anybody, but we do understand that these guys have opportunities to leave and go get in the transfer portal. We try to give them as much education about that before they get in the portal as possible. And of course, wanting the best for them where they can land in a spot where they can still play. But most guys in the portal, their play time has gone down when they went to their new university. So, but that's not discouraging them because they believe they have the opportunity to go and perhaps make money and things that may be able to help their family. So definitely a stressful situation, but we just try not to judge it and just say, hey, here's where college football is right now. And if we lose a guy, that just gives us a chance to go and recruit and cast our net and find somebody else that we can bring in and be a part of the program.
Well, I've always said, for stability of a football program, just like they have multi-year contracts in the NFL, do you see the possibility of it being a benefit in college if players now are forced to sign multi-year player contracts in college? Do you think that may be a next step that's coming?
Yeah, I mean, there has to be some type of structure and organization wrapped around it. It'd be great, I think, because it speaks to education. If there was a 3.0 GPA put on transfer and being able to transfer out, that speaks to education. That speaks to, hey, you just can't up and leave because things are not going right. And it just has to be some type of structure to it. And I don't know if it'll come down to contracts, but it just may, because these guys have these agents that represent them. And, even the NFL has structured 1 year, 3-year deals, 5-year deals. And it's like on paper, you signed it, you're held accountable to it, unless you get traded or something like that. So hopefully the waymakers of the NCAA will be able to get something together and, make it the bottom line.
No pun intended.
There you go.
I like
there
it.
you go. See, you didn't even have him for a full show, and he already gets it.
Yeah.
So when you look at the big NIL spenders like the Oregons and Texas A&M and Ohio State that pretty much have an unlimited bag of cash to bring in their 4-star, 5-star players, what does reality look like from a Tennessee State standpoint? What caliber of players can you realistically hope to bring in? off the
Yeah,
portal?
I mean, per our program and per our opponent, the people that we play against, it's relative. Obviously, we're not throwing out dollars like the schools that you mentioned, but for our size school, for our program, and for the people that we go up against, it's all relative. And hey, you know, they say money ain't everything, but it ranks up there with oxygen. So we also want to know that that it's going to take some cash, to try and get some of these guys here. So I'm just happy and thankful that we have some people that love Tennessee State University, and they understand that at some point it's going to take money to bring certain guys here to our program. We can speak on the experience all we want, which is a great experience here at this university, but we have to, try to give what we can when we can.
Well, I wanted to talk schedule too, but I think I'm going to turn it over to Eric, and maybe we can touch on that later. But I think Eric wanted to get more into your team. So
Yeah, it's been killing me.
I was a little confused with Eric, man. I see Chicago Bears, I see the Battlehawks, I see Iowa State.
Not all over.
We're all over the place over here, huh?
Now wait, Coach. I have to explain. I've got to explain Iowa State a little bit now.
Yeah.
Oh no, you ain't gonna get into that.
I don't have much time.
He's only got a limited time, Eric.
I mean, I root for the place that I graduated from. I don't know about anybody else on this panel, but I know I went to Iowa State, and that's where my loyalty lies. And
the Maggies.
This weekend was a really great weekend.
How about Iowa State head coach? You want to talk about a stud, man? That guy flat out. He's so good.
I wouldn't turn this into Iowa State, Coach, but you did bring it up. I mean, when Matt Campbell got there from Toledo, as Iowa State fans, we were kind of like, oh, okay, all right. And I tell you what, I wrote this down because something you said was really kind of hit. And I think Matt Campbell really operates along those lines too, because he has been able to keep guys at Iowa State that a lot of programs cannot keep. They move on. They go to a different position or different team, maybe a better team, a little more whatever.
Yeah.
Your attitude with the portal, I think, surmises kind of where Matt Campbell's at. You're like, it is what it is. We're going to deal with it, and we're not going to dwell on it. When you hear so many college coaches dwelling on it.
Yeah, it does nothing to keep talking about it, right? It is what it is. And you just have to remove the mental clutter of, hey, we may lose a guy, right? But that gives us a chance to go out and recruit another guy, especially, we talk about, hey, we're great recruiters. Well, here's your chance to go out and grab you another guy. So that's just what it is. And the more time you spend on talking about that is time that you're wasting on possibly going and grab you somebody else.
Yeah, couldn't be more happy with Matt Campbell. I hope they keep him there until I'm gone, because I think he's a little younger than I am, so I can handle that.
Yeah. Right on.
Cool. Yeah. Anyway, so I want to get more into the X's and O's. I'm a football coach, obviously not college football coach, but I've been coaching some level of football, high school, junior high, to my kids when they were in Pop Warner. So football has been a pretty big part of my life, and obviously I do the bottom line with Ed, so it's important. I read a couple of articles and interviewed some of your players, and one of the things that they were excited about, because I don't know, I have to assume that Coach George, who left for Bowling Green, running back, loves to pound the rock, but a lot of your athletes were talking about how excited they were for you to bring in the pro style offense and the different things, you coached in the UFL. I mean, they raved about it. How has that looked, in practice, working up to your opening game against North Carolina A&T?
Yeah, well, I appreciate the question, Eric. They're so excited that they get to run pro style stuff, but they didn't realize how simple it was, like the verbiage and a curl route is a curl route, right? Whether it's Pee Wee
Right.
football, NFL, or whatever. Slant route is that. Running inside zone is, you know what I'm saying? So Shannon Harris, our offensive coordinator, was a coach of the year in DC in the UFL, was on our staff up there. Man, he does an amazing job with communication and laying the plan out for our guys. Him and Toriana Morgan are our offensive coordinators. Those guys do a good job. In camp, we was able to throw a lot at these guys to see what stick. And now, as we get down to playing an opponent, we could trim the fat down a little bit. We got Greg Williams here, and he's been a long time NFL coach, been a head coach twice in the NFL, long-time defensive coordinator, and he installed the blitz on day one. So you coaches that know about Greg Williams, he's going to be. There's no wait to there's no wait to day 5 to install his blitzes. They're in on day 1. So, but the guys are taking his stuff as well. And they're happy to say, look, man, we're playing for a guy who's probably going to be in the Hall of Fame for calling plays on defense, coached in 2 Super Bowls. But they've been able to handle the stuff that he's been giving them as well. And like I said, we'll trim the fat as we get ready to play against our opponent here in the next few days.
So I was going to go into the schedule, but I think that's a good lead into we obviously don't have time to go into your entire roster, your wide receiver room, your running back room. So I decided to focus on what I think would be arguably, again, not everything, but one of your most important rooms at Tennessee State, and that is the quarterback room.
All right.
One of the things that jumped off the screen to me as I was kind of going through the guys and kind of seeing where that is, you are extremely young in the quarterback room, Coach.
Yeah, extremely young. We have guys. So when we got the job, they had 2 quarterbacks on the roster, and then a guy that was a punter that was playing quarterback as well. And they hadn't had much playing time. So we cast our net and was like, well, we got to get quarterbacks in here. Try to find the right guys with experience. Wasn't able to necessarily do that, but we got guys that had been in college before, but just hadn't played in live games. So we got Jonathan Palmer here. We got Caleb McQuarrie here. And we got Byron McNair, who did play. He's playing at an NAIA school. And, so he did have college game experience. But that competition has been really cool to watch these guys develop and take ownership of our offense and the coaching from Coach Harris. And, we're just looking forward to seeing them go out and compete in the college grandstand in front of their fans and family, and also going out to compete for the teammates. But we are extremely young at that position.
Yeah, I noticed as I was going through there, I think Kansas Wesleyan is where McNair was at. And I started looking through all the other, and all I saw was high school this and that did not play. But I was like, whoa, Coach has his work cut out for him here.
Yeah, you're right. But I think the best thing for a young quarterback is a good running game. Got to be able to run the ball, not put them in bad situations where we're off schedule and we find ourselves in some bad situations. So being able to run the ball, keeping that thing in third and manageables will be the thought process with our young quarterbacks. And we're looking forward to them going out and get some experience. Should be a fun time for them. They should be excited about getting this opportunity to go and compete on a college level. So excited for them.
So do you have the guy for North Carolina A&T?
Yes, sir.
Who's the guy?
Well,
we can't break any news yet. We can't break any news.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So can you keep a secret?
Yeah, I can keep a secret.
Seal.
Me too.
Of course course you can't. What is wrong with me? You're the king of affirmations, all the one that comes out with this stuff, and you say that. How did I
Even
not
when
know?
I'm like this, I'm like, he's not telling us. Like,
Why am I so gullible to this stuff? I don't get it.
well, I mean, I expect that out of you, Amanda, but we did it too, so I can't even give you any static for that. So I'll let that go.
I can tell you what he'll be wearing.
You won't be mad at Coach for that.
He knows
Right,
what
Amber?
jersey he'll be wearing.
Yeah.
So last year, go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know he'll be in a blue uniform.
That's right. That's right.
Along with me holding this blue pin. Okay.
That's right. That's right.
Amanda.
So last year, Tennessee State, finished tops in the conference. 4 teams tied 6-2. You had Southeast Missouri State, Tennessee Tech, and University of Tennessee Martin.
Yeah.
Do you and other than Tennessee Tech, I believe the 3 other teams qualified for an FCS playoff berth. I'm correct on that, I believe. And then I think Tennessee State fell to Montana. Do you see the conference kind of shaping up very similar? Because like I said, there was a couple games spread between, the top 4 teams and everyone else. Or might there be a sleeper in the conference that because like, Ed said, teams can flip-flop overnight. They can go from has-beens to here we are. So
Right.
what do you kind of see the conference shaping up to be?
Yeah, the OVC, Big South. Obviously last year competitive, a lot of good teams going to the playoffs, which is all good. How about it for Tennessee State winning it, having a part of that, playing their first playoff game in a long time. So the conference is striving and doing well. I know teams will be competitive because, like you mentioned, there's a chance to go and grab a transfer out of transfer portal that can, or 1 or 2 that can tremendously impact your squad, especially when you're talking about a quarterback or one of these elite receivers. So the conference is in good shape. I mean, they have us picked so low, we're almost in another conference. So we got to go and see how we can climb our way up from the bottom, man. They got us picked pretty low, which is cute. I think we like it. And we're just looking forward to going to compete against these great coaches, these great schools. I've always had a lot of respect for the OVC, and over the years, it's been a real solid conference. So grateful that we get a chance to be a part of it.
The nice thing, Coach, is I know you don't play Lindenwood at Lindenwood this year. You play them at home, and I think you have 8 home games as opposed to 4 or 5 road games. So that's kind of a nice deal. But Lindenwood just happens to be in those two's backyard.
Yeah.
So I foresee maybe next year you guys making the trip for the Tennessee State Lindenwood game, I would think.
Absolutely.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I do have another game on the schedule too. I wanted to talk to him quick about.
Okay.
All right.
And with that being said, we appreciate you so much, Reggie, because we appreciate your time, you coming on. And because this is the ATeam show and I'm the host, I'm going to ask the last question. Will you do me a favor? Will you make sure Greg Williams does not change his banter on the sidelines? And will you not tell him that he has to be muted during all of your games for his mouth? Please do me that favor, because I will tell you, as boisterous as that man may get sometimes, it shows on the field, and I love it. And you have great stuff with Shannon Harris. He's a great guy. So I'm going to let you kind of finish us out with this.
Yeah, I mean, we're grateful to have Greg. And someone asked me, hey, how is he and what have I learned from him? I was like, a lot of curse words, but but we're hoping to continue to learn. No, he's great. Obviously, he got he's a little potty mouth. We got to get him on y'all show. I have to call, let him know he'd be willing to come on there, get him on.
Oh, absolutely.
And Shannon Harris is golden. Man, we've been blessed on our staff. We have, I think, 6 guys that's been head coaches on here. We've got double coordinators on both sides of the ball, where Greg is obviously his defensive coordinator, but there are guys on that side of the ball who've been defensive coordinators as well. So grateful for these coaches for saying and coming to be a part of what we're doing here at Tennessee State. Looking forward to building something special here with these players, with this staff, with this university. So certainly happy and grateful that you guys allowed me to come on the show.
Amanda,
have me back.
I've got one thing. I got to put a plug in here, Coach.
Yes, sir.
I have a 6'3", 215-pound middle linebacker son who's a senior this year that is a state wrestling qualifier.
Oh,
can we come down to Tennessee State for a visit? He's impressive.
Yeah, I'd say you guys should come down for a game if you can, and then we'll link up after this, and we'll get some eyes on and get a chance to get his huddle or something like that.
Yeah,
and, go from there.
Yeah.
We need linebackers.
Well, I was looking. I thought to myself, I don't know how would Blake compare to the linebackers. I'm like, oh, he's bigger than that guy. He's just a little smaller than this guy. I'm like, he's not out of whack here as far as size and things like that. So
no, that's great size, 6'3", 215. That's really good.
Yeah, and a wrestler. I always give nods to wrestlers.
Yeah. That's always a plus right there. We're looking for guys that can play linebacker and do other stuff, wide receiver and other stuff.
Yeah, always got to have the utility. That's for sure, Coach. We want to thank you so much for taking the time out with us and showing us the love. We appreciate you here at ATeam. We definitely appreciate the bottom line for partnering up with us to chat with you about everything. And we look forward to seeing you again in the future and all of the wonderful, great things that are to come with TSU and everything that you're going to provide a wonderful football program to. And I can't wait to see you out there, Coach. Thank you so much for coming up.
Oh, yeah, Amber. Thank you,
Coach, tell us where they can find you.
All right, yeah. You guys say y'all the A-team. If y'all had seen my grades back in school, I could never be on the A-team. I was a B-team. But Reggie Barlow on Twitter, Coach Reggie Barlow on Instagram and Facebook, Reggie Barlow. Is that all of them? Yeah, that's all of them.
Yeah.
Love
That's
it.
amazing,
Thank you so much, Coach. And just so you know, that Audi Field Stadium is too high for this girl.
Yeah.
This going up that stadium does not work for me. Okay, it was a little scary, but thank you so much.
All right, thank y'all. I love all
Happy
you.
birthday.
Thanks, Coach.
Bye. That was great.
You guys didn't give me a chance to enlighten him.
On what?
I think he's enlightened enough.
I was gonna bring.
He's already bald.
I was gonna bring up the October 11th game. They go to Cape Girardeau to play SEMO. I was gonna tell him the game will be over about dinner time. He could have took the team to Taco John's.
Oh, God.
The whole flipping trip, and you didn't give me the opportunity.
Taco John's.
Don't worry, we'll have him again in the future, I'm sure.
That 215-pound linebacker would eat about 3 of those super beef burritos. He'd have been a happy man.
I pay for his grocery bill. Trust me.
Oh my God!
I'm talking about a nothing burger, man.
I remember those days.
Holy buckets.
No, I just think that it's impressive because if you think about it, when he was with DC compared to even now after he left, they have the most awards in the coaching staff of any team so far. They had Fred, they had Barlow, and then they had Harris. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool that they did that. So
I was surprised he didn't know anything about Cornell Powell there. I was like, man, you got him the trifecta. Come on. Y'all didn't have that discussion at all behind the locker room doors.
He's been kind of preoccupied, Amber.
Yeah.
Like he said, they normally get hired in December, and he didn't get hired until about the end of March.
Right.
So he lost 4 months in there where I bet his head was spinning a little bit trying to play catch up. But
for sure.
Well, I would love for the two of you to stay on longer, but that ridiculous flag behind my cousin's head is really annoying me right now. I mean, my dad can stay as long as he wants to, but this Chicago nonsense over here.
Can't wait till week one.
we could talk to coaches like that forever. So
Oh yeah. Okay, gentlemen, tell us where they can find the show, The Bottom Line.
go ahead, Eric.
Oh, geez, you throw me on there. The Bottom Line Podcast on Facebook, TBL football. What is it, Ed? TBL
football on X.
On X, and the Bottom Line Podcast on YouTube. I think that covers it all.
Awesome.
Right? Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right.
Well, we look forward to being on y'all's show sometime
Absolutely.
in the future.
I didn't get to eat dinner, so this Taco John's talk really got me hungry. So.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
And with that being said, my dad needs to go help my mama bear get the groceries in the house. So he has better things to do. So with that being said, I love you both. Thank you so much for coming on this exclusive show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course. And I can do this because it's on my end tonight. So boop, boop. Gotta go.
Why are you doing that to those guys? I thought they did good.
Listen, I don't get this opportunity to boot them off the show very often. So if I get this opportunity, I'm just going to take it.
You're going to take advantage of it, huh?
Boop, boop. Yep. No,
well, I got to tell you, Coach Barlow, being a grandfather, an author, making sure that he's putting something out there for even the next generation is always, always a wonderful thing to see and hear. I love the affirmation books that he's got out. He's got the young man's version. He's got the young woman's version. I love that he made sure that everybody is being affirmed with positivity and wonderful thoughts. I appreciate that.
I want to say this too, because there's two sets, right? So there's these that aren't coloring books, but there are ones that are color books. And I love this because it's very simple, good read. And the reason I love it the most is because for people that are on the spectrum, I'm just going to say this is probably by far, as a mother with a child, with autism, this is probably by far one of my favorite books that I've actually looked at, for the sense of there's anywhere from 3 to 6 sentence or words in a sentence. And I think that is great, but it's the meaning behind every sentence in the book that is so special. And it's things that we, even as adults, should be telling ourselves on a daily basis. So I don't know about my son. My son's very excited about his 2 new books that he received today. But I'm even more excited because I think I could learn a thing or two by reading this book. So I'm just saying that. But yeah,
definitely something that the parents can take and keep in the back of their cortex while they're reading them to their kids for story time before bed. And I love that it can hit all age groups, big, small, young, old. It doesn't matter, and yeah, it's simple. I love the simplicity behind it. It's effortless and so easy that you're like, man, if we just took a step back and took a breath and just not complicate things so much, you'd be surprised at what kids definitely soak in, and I love that. I love that Coach Barlow has brought forth the simplicity behind it,
This is so sweet, the podcast of opportunity. Aww. And with that being said, I want to say some very exciting news.
Speaking of opportunities.
Yeah, I just want to say some very exciting news. Yeah. We had a cut-a-thon, as a lot of you know. We had a cut-a-thon yesterday at Philip Johnson's Salon and Spa in honor of the St. Louis Slam football team. It went great. Thank you to them big time too for coming, bringing the trophy. It was amazing to see some of the children's faces when the players were there, and to see the trophy with us probably half their size. That was really cute. But we have raised 800 plus, and we still have this week to go.
How much?
800 plus. Because we still have some things. And I'm saying plus And I don't want to end it at 800 because we have more coming still, because there are still things that we are doing this week to raise even more money. So that final total we'll have for you by next week. But just to give you an idea of where we're at, that's where we're at. And also remember, 100% of this is going directly to St. Jude's. So
that is the absolute best part about
everyone
it, guys.
Who donated their time. Thank you to everyone that has donated silent auction items. Rick Story, huge shout out to you. Thank you so much for your help and for bringing them. To my boss, Josh, at Philip Johnson, the owner of Philip Johnson Salon and Spa. I really appreciate him. Christina with Slam, absolutely phenomenal for all of her help with this, has been very helpful. And the players, they are very
Rocking it.
Rocking it. Mm-hmm.
Did you have an awesome haircut that you want to brag about, or any drastic change? Did somebody come in and go, I'm done, get rid of it?
No, none of that. But as some of you may know, our little buddy Evan, Kiala's son Evan, was in and he had his haircut with Alec, and he looked cute and dapper as ever. And there are pictures from the cut-a-thon at our page, so definitely go check those out. I just want to say this. Good luck to TSU and all of the fans. Please, fans, go and show up for what's going to be what I know will be an amazing game. You guys have no idea. You may think you know, but you have no idea what kind of coach you really have on your side. And all of his counterparts, all of the people that make up this no I in team situation, I'm excited to watch them grow. They're going to be phenomenal.
Well, it's not just a coach, you know, you get a mentor, you get a male role model, you get a father figure, you get a teacher, you get like so much. You get a advisor, someone to confide in. I mean, Coach Barlow is definitely the epitome of coaching and input when it comes to making sure that his players are there and they're at 100%. And that's in all aspects, whether it's on the field, off the field. I love the student athlete emphasis. That is an amazing thing. You don't hear that too often. So, I mean, I just have more and more respect for him as a man, more respect for his family and everything, and the staff that support him in doing what they do. It's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
TSU,
and also, I am going to, on our page, I'm going to post the link for these books, for Coach Barlow's books, so that if any of you are wanting to seek his books out, please do. So well worth it. I will put that link on our page, so definitely go check that out. Also, we will be here on Wednesday. You're not rid of us. You only get a day off from us this week. Sorry, people. Only a day off. That's it.
You know, I love that we're doing this. It was a great idea. Mm-hmm. And I know that they had a lot of fun at the cut-a-thon. We also saw some buzz in the Houston Roughneck spectrum. Super fans are taking it upon themselves to post videos on their personal pages, on the fan pages, in the UFL universe, to hashtag save the Roughnecks, hashtag protect the rig. Haven't seen much anywhere else from any other teams, but I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think that this is a great way for Houston to get in front of the ball, so to speak, with the Mike Rapoli requests from the new edition of UFL ownership. I didn't know if you got to see any of those videos. What were your thoughts on them?
Yes, I've seen them. I don't want to get into that too much tonight because we can talk about that on Wednesday. You're going to take all this away from me. But to answer your question, yes, I have. I just want to continue to see, the Predator couple has been a huge part of Houston. So let's not forget about everything that they have done too, but also the fact that, the fans getting involved in this the way that they are, I think just speaks volumes on the fan base for the UFL in itself. I
Yeah.
just think that the amount of passion and the things that all of these fans are doing that they don't even have to do. Listen, everyone, this is not our role. It's not our role to be, we ain't collecting a paycheck to sell any tickets. But at the end of the day, it's the fact that everyone has the same united passion for the one thing, which is the game of football in the cities that they love. And I think the fact that everyone could come together collaboratively to make something like that happen is very special. And I think that that in itself is what's going to make this next year of the UFL even more special for people and teams like Birmingham and Birmingham Stallions. I think it's going to make it even that much more special for them this next season. So with that being said, let's do that for all the other ones too. And continue to share the Predator couples video that they put out. Let's share the love for all the cities that deserve to have a place. It may not be the stadium that they're in before, that they were in before, but even if they're in a different one, let's just keep that team.
Oh yeah.
Who cares about that stadium? Who cares? Who cares?
They've
Who cares?
been nomadic since the inception. You've got to understand they haven't played 2 consecutive years. I think last year was the first time it was 2 consecutive years. Maybe not. I can't remember.
Like
But
this,
yeah,
right?
it's amazing to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And we love the UFL family and our extended family and all the other cities. It's amazing to see these super fans get together, not just for their team, but for UFL as a whole. With that being said, folks, get your tickets, UFL.com. Season tickets are still out for grabs. Get them while you can.
Yes. Yes. Get your tickets. Don't forget to get your merch for sure. I believe it's still 70% off. Also, more importantly, please, please, please do not forget to go or check out the TSU Let the Roar Begin August 30th. TSU versus North Carolina AT&T Nissan Stadium. Going to be a great game. I have to go to one of those games.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes, yes, yes. Have to go. Just like I said, I have to go to a Viking game this year, and I will be going to one in December. Yes,
I gotta say, I'm loving this blue background with I like the colors that TSU have, man. This is phenomenal. Kind of goes with everything, you know.
I thought I'd change my studio up today too.
I like it. I like
There
it.
There was a certain somebody that loves it also. He'll just never admit it. So with that being said, we're going to close out this show because
thank you very much, folks, for joining us. Again, my name is Amber. That right there is Amanda. We are the A-Team, and we appreciate you joining us Monday night for that special Reggie Barlow head coach interview with our co-hosts, The Bottom Line, Ed and Eric. Thank you for joining us. We welcome you guys again this coming Wednesday, Woman Crush Wednesday, 7 p.m. right here, same place, same time as always. We'll see you in a couple of days. Take care.
Bye, everybody.